Hello and welcome back to the XRP Vault, where we bring you the most up-to-date and exciting XRP news. We're distributing 10,000 XRP. To be eligible, all you have to do is upvote, subscribe, remark XRP is king, and watch the video until the conclusion. The winners will be chosen next month and announced on the channel's community page. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's regulatory conflict with Ripple's, which has been ongoing since the end of 2020, is finally coming to an end. Soon after, Jeremy Hogan, a Ripple lawyer, declared victory in Ripple's favor. In this scenario, Hogan believes that success for Ripple is the most likely outcome. The SEC is suing the blockchain-based payments startup Ripple on the grounds that it traded the digital currency XRP as an unregistered security, despite the fact that XRP is not promoted as a security. According to Hogan, big businesses such as Coinbase, iRemit, and TapJets are supporting Ripple, and he believes Ripple will win. To bolster his viewpoint, an expert in Bitcoin law asserts that after the sale, Ripple has no legal responsibility to. Hogan references an amicus brief filed by Paradigm Operations, a crypto-focused investing firm. A careful assessment of federal law and court opinions indicated that there was no justification for the SEC's attempt to generalize about the assets that are necessary to each application in which investment contracts are found based on its analysis of investment contract transactions. The imaginary issuer and the investor providing the investment funds are legally tied in some way. There is no continuing legal link between Ripple and XRP purchasers. No, as demonstrated by the Ripple case. And, according to Jeremy Hogan, the SEC has failed to find a remedy. Hogan adds that the law requires an investment contract, not a sale contract, as reported by the Daily Hodl. The lawyers pointed out that Ripple is selling XRP without making any additional written assurances, implying that they are selling assets rather than securities. Hogan then focuses on the second prong of the Howey test, which says that the existence of a joint venture implies the existence of an investment contract with knowledge in cryptocurrency law. The SEC is plagued by three major difficulties. While the lawsuit is winding down, attorney John Deaton, the originator of crypto law and a staunch backer of Ripple, has highlighted what he thinks to be the most significant threat to Ripple's total victory over the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission section. According to Deaton, the trial's presiding judge, Judge Annalisa Torres, risks dividing the country in half by siding partially with Ripple and the SEC. Judge Torres may rule that, while Ripple initially sold unregistered securities, the XRP token and secondary market token transactions are not securities. He emphasized the dangers since securities rules do not necessitate the sale or transfer of an underlying asset to a company providing unregistered securities. He also stated that he is looking forward to the SEC debate. He also stated that he expects the SEC debate, if it occurs, will be mostly about supply dollars. He also contended that an unequivocal triumph for Ripple in which the judge criticizes the SEC for pursuing the nonsensical premise that XRP is still very likely to be classified as a security would be the most significant political and practical outcome. If the decision is favorable, the SEC will be terminated. Gensler, Gary the chairman is enforcing corporate regulations. After the SEC and Ripple submitted their final petitions for summary judgment, he contended that if the SEC won, the regulator would be obligated to aggressively prosecute other cryptocurrency businesses and projects operating in the U.S. The lawsuit has reached its conclusion. The parties and the greater community awaited the judge's decision with bated breath. In order to advance the conversation, market players predict a big increase in the price of XRP when the transaction is completed. Former federal prosecutor and U.S. Attorney James Kay expressed his thoughts on the concerns addressed in the continuing Ripple section. He posted his opinions on Twitter last week, including a paper with a tweet that outlined three significant concerns that emerged: a summary judgment motion, an expert-type Robert move, and an expert-type Robert motion. Finally, there is a cap on issues concerning expert reports. The Hyman records, as well as other materials, serve as the foundation for the SEC and Ripple standards. He thinks that the solutions to these problems may be interconnected and interdependent. This means that, In her perspective, the rationale for Judge Torres' decision on the summary judgment will define the circumstances under which the FIL can be published. She also suggests that the same principle applies to expert questions. Phil further noted that Judge Torres may not have to deal with the expert's motion to exclude testimony any longer if she didn't rely on the professional. In her summary decision, Judge Torres County chose to evaluate Phil in the Goldman Sachs case, including a sealed disagreement expert challenges, and claimed that the concerns were resolved concurrently in a landmark judgment with an additional footnote to released court records on which he relied on that notion. A separate judgment on outstanding matters is not expected, according to Phil. He reaffirmed his previous remark that the Torres County judge will issue a large written decision on all of the issues at the same time, and he anticipates that it will happen by March 31, 2023. In October, Ripple said that it had gotten the long-awaited documents from William Hyman, a former SEC officer who alleged at a conference in 2018 that ETH was not safe. The public, however, is still unable to access the documents. Those who closely followed the trial expect the records to be made public in responses to summary judgment motions coming next week. Phil specified that subsequent responses may not make public reference of Hyman's materials. Since the end of a 19-month legal struggle with the U.S. SEC, Ripple XRP has revealed its desire to seek backing in the EU. The SEC, he fears, may change references to Hyman's documents. Because of its regulatory history, the majority of Ripple XRP's operations are located outside of the United States, according to the company's legal counsel. According to investors, the viability of XRPS in this new phase is dubious, because the hideaways it would pre-sale token delivers continuous passive income from real estate under any macro conditions. Many people have turned to it for safety and security. Despite the support of the world's largest cryptocurrency platforms, such as Coinbase, the Ripple's XRP litigation has hurt its performance, with prices down 65%. And, compared to a year ago, the resolution of the 19-month dispute with the U.S. SEC has accelerated substantially. The company Ripple XRP is preparing to launch in Europe. According to a company lawyer, in order to legally move services to the European Union. They are currently striving to obtain a license from Ireland's central bank. Following the announcement, the price raised by 3 cents to 39 cents. Losses from the FTX crash last week are assisting in the recovery of Ripple XRP. Looking at the big picture, the trading volume of Ripple XRP fell to $83 million from $162 million the previous session, showing that investor interest is waning. The relative strength index, which stands at 44.98, is not favorable to the company's most recent news. As a result of this conclusion, many investors have sought refuge in pre-sale tokens, which promise higher long-term stability than XRP on the 24-hour chart, despite the fact that it is a new player. The Ripple XRP bulls are currently striving for the 40-cent resistance, and a break of this level might open the door to the 31-cent support. Investors in Ripple XRP have sought refuge in the shadows with good reason. The Hideaways 8 is the first cryptocurrency-based luxury real estate venture that allows investors to monetize real estate. While the project seeks to lower entry barriers related to conventional real estate investments, particularly the large capital needs, the better choices, the Hideaways HID Wi-Fi, because these digital collectibles are backed by assets that allow investors to obtain monthly rental income in ETH/USDT and USDC, as opposed to Ripple XRP, which has a fixed value. Before the end of 2022, a 6,000 increase is expected. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section and be sure to subscribe to